Hello, hello, everybody. And I just want you all to know this is just for entertainment purposes only. Hello, everybody. Welcome back, my beautiful soul tribe. Welcome back to Tarot Talk Live. My name is Catherine, and let's get right into tonight. And we're going to get right into this. So, we are going to explore a little bit further. All right. And yes, we're going to be looking at the tarot messages. Don't fear. We're going to get to that. All right. But I want to take us into a bit of a description of what we're going to look at here, because we're going to look at it through a different lens tonight. So let's just start that we're doing a little bit of a break. We have been looking at the questions that an investigator or a news reporter would look at, you guys. So you think of the 5 W's, right? You have the who, the where, the what, the why, and the when. And then you also have how. Okay. And did I say why? I think I said why. So those are like the best premises that any good reporter can have when they are reporting a case, okay, and say they get an interview. You want to start with those basic factors and then you get off into the nuances. So let's go ahead and get our notes together if I can find them. So just when I thought I had everything, okay, give me just 1 second. Oh, here it is. Sorry, guys. I was like, wait a second. I know I'm a little slow today, but not that slow today. Okay, let's move this out of the way here. All right, so we have looked at the who, the where, and the what. So tonight we're going to take a break from that. I think we're going to go into why next, and then we will look at when and how. All right. But tonight I wanted to take a special glimpse, okay, if you will, into the senses of Nancy Guthrie. What were Nancy Guthrie's senses? What are the overall energies or the overarching energies behind each of Nancy Guthrie's senses? Each of them on the night or at the time that this crime took place at her home or wherever it took place at. Keep that in mind. Okay. Keep that kind of in the side or back of your mind. But what were the senses? And you want to think of the senses, you think of there are 5. All right, traditionally, but we have 6 senses. Some of us do. Some of us have a 6th sense. And we'll get to that in a bit. But we're going to start with the first one, which is going to be sight. What did Nancy experience with her sense of sight? What went through her olfactory nervous system, if I'm saying that correctly? Okay. What went through that part of her brain and senses that stimulated that? What did she see? Was it a specific person? Okay. Was it an official person? Was it a stranger? Was it family? Was it a friend? Did she see a specific color that would stand out somewhere or not? Do you know what I'm saying? What is it about Nancy's vision that stands out here? Okay. What did she see? Or who? What colors are coming through? Was it a bright light? Was it complete and utter darkness? Are we seeing something scary like a mask? What are we seeing? Okay. And then we're going to look at the sense of smell. Okay. What scents did maybe were overpowering to Nancy? Did this person wear a particular cologne even? Or was it a bad smell? Okay. Or could it be something familiar? Did someone cook or prepare a meal around this time? Could be. Did she go to any other residence that smelled of a particular smell? Is there an area or a place where she may have been taken that resonates with a particular smell or stench even? Could it have been in an area like a landfill? Think of that. That would definitely have a smell. Okay. So we're looking in those range. So it could be anything that relates to that, or it could be a nose, somebody has like a nose drip situation. It could be somebody that has a nasally that talks through their nose. You know what I'm saying? It could be something to that nature. We'll see what the cards say as we put things together here. And it's going to be interesting because we're going to use multiple tarot decks, you guys. So hang on. We're going to have a lot of fun here. Now, we're going to also look at taste. Now, this is different because taste can bring up different things. So you can think of taste of one may have eaten a particular food. You can think of taste of one may have put a cloth in someone's mouth even to keep them from making noise. So there could be that sort of situation where you may get a particular card. So we're going to look to see what the energy is around the cards that we actually are getting. And I have several decks out and a couple of new decks. One new deck that we're going to be working with. It's not really new. It's not new for me, but maybe new for you guys. All right. And we have not used it in a while. We used it at the beginning of this case, actually, in a couple of the readings. So yes, actually in the first few. I came in on day 3. So you can go back to the very first Nancy Guthrie episode that I did. All right. So I came in on day 3. All right. So that'll be with taste. Okay. And then moving on to the sense of hearing, right? What did she hear? Was it glass breaking? Was it a bump? Was it something falling on the floor? Was it a voice? Did she hear a squeak in the floorboards? You know what I'm saying? As someone was walking or creeping up. Did she not hear much of anything? Because, of course, we all know there was the case of her hearing being impaired. She wore hearing aids. She required hearing aids. Okay. So there is that. So what are we going to see around that? I'm very interested in that particular sense, you guys. Did she recognize a voice that was familiar to her? So are we going to get any cards that represent familiarity when it comes to voice or hearing or sounds or something of that nature? And sometimes you can tell who a person is by their walk, okay, by the way they move, okay. So I'm very good at doing that, especially with people that you live with on a regular basis. You can tell who one person is versus the other. I can tell which one of my grandkids would be moving up and down the hallways, and they were twins. So, yeah, you can just tell. Okay, you can just tell by the confidence of one step sometimes, or, sometimes people are more particular the way that they walk or approach, right? So, yeah, you can tell. Lastly, or not lastly, but second but last, feeling, okay, touch, the sense of touch. What feelings did Nancy experience? Okay, what was that sense? Was there pain? Was there, something pointy, something pressurizing, something squeezing or constricting, even? Okay, so thinking about that, or it could be a texture of some sort. They said she went out without shoes. So did she step on something, or was she carried? Was there a sense of not feeling much at all after a certain point? Okay, so there could be that. So we're just going to, it could be like a numb energy. So we're going to look to see what around feeling that we get. Okay, if that's how, if the sense of touch was something that she had the awareness of after she left the house. That could also answer a lot of questions as well, considering the question is, was Nancy even still with us at the point that she got even across her threshold? Which I believe the answer to that question is no, based on everything that I've seen and the cards that we've gotten. Okay, so, and other energy surrounding this entire case. So there's that. And then lastly but not least, y'all, the sense, the sixth sense is the sense that is least explored, but the one that is, I feel, to me, most important and most effective of all the senses. If you had only this particular sense, I feel that you would be able to survive. And some people are like, are you nuts? Because I couldn't survive if I couldn't this or I couldn't that. Well, without intuition, you know what I'm saying? You would be in a very vulnerable position as well. So please, please, and very please do not discount the sense that we are gifted, okay? Um, the sense that we are gifted, because unfortunately it doesn't appear that we all get it, but the sense of intuition. And I feel that we all do have some, we just repress it or either discount it or just completely ignore it. So, but I feel that all of us have that. We have to, we're given that actually. Yeah. So it's part of that decision making process, but you have intuition. So we're going to see what Nancy's intuitive sense was giving her that day, the moments of or before this crime took place. Okay, and I'm going to keep calling it a crime because it's nothing but. All right, so let's get started, y'all. I'm so excited. Ow, ow, ow. And I just, like, I don't know what I just did, but my hand has been in a tremendous amount of pain just as I'm getting ready to have surgery on a whole nother situation, y'all. I have a fractured finger It's really broken, but it's like healed into, it's like a fracture that's been, it's healed improperly. Let's put it that way. I didn't get it addressed when I was supposed to get it addressed, and now it's become an issue that I can't avoid. But then I have my chronic issue that I've been dealing with is starting to cause other issues in my other hand and wrist. So I'm just kind of like a hot mess central, but I am going to be having some time to heal and get these things hopefully to a point where I can at least function. Okay. Because this is kind of getting out of hand. So I'm sorry about that, y'all. And if I jump or if there's like a stop or a pause, it's because there's just some pain that I'm dealing with. Okay. So just forgive me. So we're going to start off with sight, you guys. And because of that, I have chosen to use this oracle deck here. This is called the Sacred Symbols for Divination and Meditation Oracle Deck. Okay. And this is by Marcella Kroll. I love the last name. It's Kroll with a K. All right. It's called the Sacred Symbols, okay, for Divination and Meditation Oracle Deck by Marcella Kroll. All right. And of course, we always have our tried and trues. We are going to be looking at the What's the Vibe Oracle Deck. We are going to be looking at the True Emotional Oracle Deck. We're going to be looking at the Spirit Shield Oracle Deck. We're going to be looking at the Beach Time Soul Oracle Deck. We will be also looking at the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle Deck, the Witching Hour Oracle Deck, and the Healing Waters Oracle Deck. All right, so like I said, you guys, hold on to your britches. Let's get it started, okay? So, sight. What or even who did Nancy Guthrie see? Or what is the overall energy around her sense of sight? Well, look at this. First card out the deck. This is the evil eye. This is scary. This is absolutely chilling for me, right? So there could be a couple things going on. Either Nancy saw someone who she felt was jealous or had this jealous energy, or she saw an act of jealousy, or she saw someone that all of a sudden looked at her in a very, very callous, very jealous, very envious, evil way, or just the eye of evil. And she looked into it. Okay. And I really hate the fact that this is what she saw. I really hate the fact that this is it. And to me, it almost looks as though she's looking through a peephole. And what do you see? You see someone peeping back at me. Do you see what I see? I see an energy of her looking out and seeing the eyes of something evil. Okay, something very scary here. I don't like that. Number 23, that marks 5, and that also represents fear. Okay, for me in the tarot, that is my Okay, so let's see, what else do we have here around sight? What else do we have here around sight? What did Nancy see? Do you see what I see? Divine masculine. In the tarot, the divine masculine represents a husband figure, father. It represents someone who is a patriarch, masculine energy, someone who is also very controlling. We can get that someone very jealous and someone extremely controlling is what she saw. She saw someone wanting to be in control because of their extreme jealousy. She saw someone who was very evil, someone who had evil intentions looking towards her, someone who was very, very, very just overwhelming, okay, in their presence. And yeah, just taking control. Divine masculine. So there was a masculine, there was a very evil looking masculine, perhaps even someone who had on a mask, and you can see this person's eyeballs, behind the mask. So this could be the masked person, the porch person. Do you see what I'm saying? She saw this divine masculine. This is what Nancy saw. We are looking at the energy around Nancy's taking around this crime, whether it was right prior to it happening, as it was happening, or, again, this is what she is seeing. So we're looking at her senses, her active senses, her active senses. Okay, so let's get one more. What else did Nancy see? And then we're going to look at a different deck before we move on to the next sense. What else did Nancy see? And we're going to look at the tarot messages behind these. So we have soulmate. You guys, I'm getting too many cards. See, this is frustrating. This is also, it's bothersome because it just represents so much. We have a divine masculine, and now we have a soulmate. A masculine who is also supposed to be a soulmate, or someone who is someone's soulmate, who is a divine masculine. So a male, someone who is perhaps family. Soulmates are representative of family, someone you have a connection with, a love connection, a heart connection, a soul tie connection, a connection by blood or in DNA. This is what this is giving. Connected in a family sense, in a loving sense, in a sense of people who are married, people who may be connected by marriage. Oh, goodness. So again, y'all, it's just giving me what I don't want to. It's just, yeah. So let's go. Let's go for another oracle deck here. Let's get the true emotional oracle deck here. Again, focusing on what Nancy saw. Focusing on what Nancy saw. Focusing on what Nancy saw. Okay, this one flipped up. Massive regrets. There's a masculine energy that is, really, really like, why did I do this? It's like they're hitting themselves on the head, like, why did I do this? And they have on that clothing that you call a wife, you know what? Why did I do this? Someone is gonna, she's seeing someone who's having regrets about what they're doing or what they have done that has brought them to this point, perhaps. So she's seeing someone who is close. This has to be someone who has some sort of emotional attachment, because why else would this person be having a hard time? I'm just asking. Why else would they be having a hard time right now? Okay. Why would there be these massive regrets and fits of, regret taking place that Nancy witnessed? You know what I'm saying? They're doing this in front of her. So there's obviously someone who's gone too far, and they know it. She knows it. She knows that this is an act of jealousy. She knows that this was someone that was close, that has gone, that is wants to be in control and has gone too far. And now they're regretting it. She's seeing all of this. This is very scary. Very, very scary. Someone who is going unhinged. This just went in the reverse. So we have bad credit, debt, and unemployment all in the reverse. So when I look at this energy, this is like someone who is having some money problems, right? And this is someone who is committing an act so that they can make all of this go away. Even though they have regrets about what they're doing, or even though there's going to be regret for what they've done, they are doing this because they have no choice. She sees something in regards to someone's lack of financial stability. She also may see that someone has some sort of a debt to pay. So she's seeing this. Tell me more about what Nancy saw, please. Tell me more. Now, again, this twin flame, again, right on top of the soulmate here, definitely does a number for me. Okay? Because this is the energy of, again, two people that are intertwined, two people that are connected, two people that are bonded. And this person is they're going through this moment, okay? They're going through this moment. But they have to get out of this trouble here, and they have regrets because of their connection. But these debts and this situation, this bad credit situation, this debts that are overwhelming have to go away, even if it means to hurt or harm. Even if it means to hurt or harm. This is sad. This is very, very sad here. Underneath the deck, do you see what I see? Spiritual. This is the card of chaos, spiritual chaos. It even says chaos here, but it also says spiritual downward spiral. Downward spiral. Spiritual awakening. Okay, she sees that this person is basically going through this like spiral. They're basically having a virtual breakdown right before her eyes. And there are secrets. There are secrets. There's an energy of wanting to keep this a secret, but spiraling down. And this my friends, are the most devastating energies to have at the same time. You know what I mean? Mm. Losing sleep. Again, these people are worried. These people are afraid because they know that they've gone too far and they need to keep this a secret. They need to keep it quiet. They need it not to get out. And there's an energy of it's either one of us or none of us. Closing the cycle is last. So we're going to shut that out because that's just the energy of, you know what, that was where Nancy's, the end of that vision, that sense of vision is closed here. We're done. We're done. So let's pull a few tarot messages just to clarify. I always like to pull the classic tarot for my folks that like to look at the tarot messages in correspondence with the oracle messages. Okay, so we're just going to pull a few and see what we get here. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. You guys let me know how you like the channel. If you would like to enter your chance to win a free reading, please drop a yellow heart in the comment section or #win. You can also reach out to me on my other channel, Queen Cancer Tarot. It's my main channel, and we have memberships available. There are 3 different levels. There's lots of fun stuff that come with each level, you guys. And for every level up, you get all the levels that are prior. You know what I mean? All of the benefits of the previous levels. So lots of fun. Check me out. And I also read for all 12 signs on my other channel, She Reads Tarot. So the links for both of my other channels are below. And I'm running a sale right now, you guys, through the second weekend in May. I'm going to make it go through the entire weekend. So that's coming up. Coming up for Mother's Day weekend. All right, so what did Nancy see? Okay, first card out here, you guys, we got the 6 of Wands. All right, this is again a card of recognition. This card here is all about recognizing, public recognition, being seen. The 6 of Wands. Look it up. Look it up. I challenge you to look it up. It talks about being recognized, being seen, being seen. So someone she recognized, she saw someone that she recognized, and it was a bonded person, a twin flame, a soulmate, someone close, and a divine masculine. So there was a male person there that was in recognition that Nancy saw, period. And when she recognized them, they lost it. This is why this person had a spiral. Look, we have the Knight of Cups, you guys. Once again, the Knight of Cups is an energy of someone who is trying to negotiate, right? Passive aggressive, right? They have a smile on their face, but behind the scenes, this person is trying to make something happen. They're trying to convince someone. Okay, there's an energy of they're trying to convince someone, and they're moving back and forth, trying to fix a situation, right? Trying to fix a situation, trying to get things to, go smoothly. This is my negotiator card. This is my negotiator card. Just wants things to go right. Energy of just trying to make everything work, right? Wanting to make everything work. But because of the recognition, I feel there was a problem. This person knew, I may have gotten away with this if she didn't recognize me. We may have gotten away with our plan. I may not have had to do what I did if there was no recognition, So, yeah, the recognition, I feel, is what caused this event to go haywire. Now, interesting, we have this hermit, okay, Virgo energy coming out in the reverse. Okay. This is an energy of when the hermit is in the upright, they want to kind of stay back behind the scenes. They're seeking some sort of truth. They're contemplating something. When it's in the reverse, this is all about creating distance, because why? Someone has gone too far. The hermit in the reverse is like someone who just, it's not just you don't like coming out because you don't like being around a lot of people, so you just kind of come out when it's really quiet. No, this is someone who completely is going dark, right? This is all about being out there, kind of being out there, all alone, feeling like you are on a limb. Okay. Feeling like you are on a limb. This is also talking about being very distant. Okay. And trying to create distance because you've been recognized is what I'm getting. This person now has to create some sort of distance, but how are they going to do that? How are they going to get around it? How are they going to get around it? Under the deck, we have the Seven of Cups. This is confusion. This is someone who's looking for options or trying to decide what route to go. They don't know what to do. The Ace of Cups here, this represents someone who has to come up with some sort of a new plan. Now we have to do something unorthodox. Now we're going to have to go a completely different route. And this is that energy of, either me or you. This person went from one thing to another. They went from trying to come up with something to just making a decision to just end the whole matter and get out of Dodge, because they realized there was no going back here. With twin flames here, I feel like it was a no-go. I feel like there may have been some sort of trying to convince this person of something or force this person to do something, while we saw that masculine, divine masculine, being very controlling. And then all of a sudden there's this spiritual spiral, this downward spiral. We saw the ego death. And we have the ego card here with the Six of Wands. Do you see what I mean? The ego card is the Six of Wands, right? But that is going to end very quickly when they realize with that Knight of Cups, that whole negotiator tactic is not going to work, right? Because Nancy is not going to keep quiet about this situation, or is not going down without a fight with that twin flame. And this is where it pretty much had to turn into something else, right? This turned into something different. And behind that, we have the Magician. Okay. The Magician is a different type of energy, because this is somebody who will use whatever they have in their tool house to make things happen. Okay. This is somebody who is going to use whatever they have in their tool house or backpack, to get what they want. Okay. They're coming up with some sort of last minute plan, perhaps. Okay. Because they've been recognized. That Page of Pentacles, again, is a card of recognition. I told you the energy does not lie. The cards don't lie. Yes, this is for entertainment purposes only, but come on. Cards are not lying. Okay. Two of Cups. Once again, Two of Cups, Queen of Cups. Someone that she knew, someone that she loved. There was someone that was recognized, and it went from one situation to another. Okay. So let's just now move on to smell. Okay. Let's move on to smell. And what deck are we going to use? Let's use the Cannabis Oracle deck. Yeah, that's an appropriate deck to use. Okay. Because that has a heavy reference to smell. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Cannabis has a very strong stench to it or whatnot, so you would have to know that smell is going to be a huge factor. So we're going to start with that deck. All right, smell. What did Nancy Guthrie smell? What scent, okay, or fumes, okay, or aromas even, okay, are of importance. What did Nancy Guthrie smell? What about her sense of smell at the time that she was taken stands out or has some resonance or importance? So we have Oren Mila, the great diviner. Okay, and this is an outdoor energy. Okay, this person is outside, right? And what is around Oren Mila? Let's see here. Sorry, guys. 1 second. There it is. I try to keep my books close by in case I need to go further, and I do. Now, if I can find it in this book is going to be more challenging than finding the book itself. So bear with me, folks. As a matter of fact, just give me 1 second here, and I am going to be right back when I find it. Okay, guys, I found it. Orun Mila is often referred to as Ifa. Okay, Ifa, and saw the beginnings of creation. He embodies wisdom and understanding through all destinies. He sits in front of a bright blue sky with his legs stretched out before him, a slight bend in the knee. He wears a yellow and green robe, and as the great diviner, with his cowrie shells beside him in a pile. In front of his lap is a mirror with golden flakes on it. That's what I was looking at, the golden flakes. Okay. Where the shells fall, he creates a mark of 1 or 2 straight lines to decipher their message, something that has taken him many years of practice. He uses these readings to determine the outcome of the situation and comes to you when it is time for you to be called to action. Do you know what just came to me? Oh my gosh, you guys, this is talking about, and I hate to say this, but I don't know, but we're going to go on, but there's an energy of when it said call to action, when it's time, you think about when they bring in cadaver dogs. I'm getting an energy or a sense because we're looking at this around the time that it occurred. I feel that they need to bring cadaver dogs in to the house and then go from there. I don't know what that means, but that's what I'm getting. Okay, y'all get mad at me later, but that's what I'm getting. I don't know what that means, but let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay. Call to action. Ifa is the path. Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like there's going to be some sort of a path, a scent, a trail, a scent, a path. Do you see what I'm saying? But I feel like that scent or that trail is exactly what disappeared in that first few days that was necessary to bring in certain people, of a certain branch, but they were held off or back or away by the Pima County Sheriff's Office. But let's just keep going. And it's funny because it says Nigerian here, and I knew that Ifa was Nigerian. Okay. So let's keep going. Hold on. Ifa is the path of the males in Nigerian divination, and the stern look on his face reminds you that he means business, which is funny because Nigerians do have that stern look on their face. A lot of Nigerians, if you know Nigerians. All right. But they're very, very business minded, very serious people. It says he knows all the secrets about creation, and a candle, y'all listen, a candle sits at the front of the card to symbolize this. Did Nancy have a candle lit that she could smell the scent? There's something about candle, a scent of a candle burning that is standing out for me. So it could be that Nancy smelled her candle, as she smelled the scent of a candle, a particular candle that she had burning in the house. I have candles going all the time, and I know when I go into certain rooms where the candles are located, that smell is a very strong smell. So was there a candle burning in a different room that Nancy was taken into? I don't know. So just, keep that in the back of your mind, because I'm just like trying to figure out, like, we got this card for a reason. Okay. We did. All right. So let's finish reading. It says he is immensely powerful. So that smell could be immensely powerful. Do you see what I mean? Take everything how it resonates into the message. Okay. Don't discount cards just because you don't automatically know what it means. You know what I mean? I used to do that a lot, but as I grow as a tarot reader, I need to understand, like, nothing happens by chance. So if a card comes out, if I pull a card, I need to understand what it is that Spirit is trying to show me. It doesn't always necessarily jump out at you either. Okay. Sometimes it takes a minute or two or some seconds to really kind of visualize and look and see how it makes you feel, the energy is around it. Maybe read what the card has to say in the book if it has a meaning to it, and see what you get from that, or a feeling, or whatever it is. Give Spirit an opportunity to come through. All right. So, and it will. He is immensely powerful. Some say more powerful than other orishas. Orun Mila, Orun Mila has his has his diving chain, Opel, they call it Opele, and his palm, I can't read what that says. Oh, palm nuts. Okay, palm nuts around his seat. Palm nuts. Interesting. I wonder if palm nuts have a scent to it. Around his seat to symbolize what he brought to humanity as a guide. What he brought to humanity as a guide. His diving chain and his palm nuts. Interesting. So, very, very interesting, you guys. Palm nuts from the palm tree, okay, is what I'm getting that is right there. So, palm oil could have a smell. This person may smell like some sort of a palm oil. Or there could be a candle or a very strong, overpowering smell in a different room. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for smell. Okay, all right, let's move on. Let's put this deck back. Let's pull a few a few tarot messages. Sorry, guys. A few tarot messages. Okay. I didn't pull too many cards from this deck. Let's pull a couple more. I'm sorry. I got so overwhelmed with that Oren Mila guy. Let's pull a couple more. Let's pull a couple more. Smell. What did Nancy smell? What about Nancy's sense of smell? Okay. Oh, look, you guys. Food. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? There's the energy of food. Someone who may have eaten something. We have wasabi here. Wasabi. I think about wasabi. Okay. When I see this word, every time I see it, I think about wasabi sauce, which is actually a green color. Accountability. And what's also interesting is we have this lion that is behind her. So this could be some sort of an animal smell, but we have food here. Fruit, a fruity smell. A fruity smell. And then we have accountability. And then we have Urun, which is just like Orun almost, but it's Urun. Okay. Joy and light. Joy and light. And this is, I believe, the sun. This is representative of the sun in the tarot messages here. All right. So I'm getting outdoors. I'm getting outdoors. This card also represents someone who's outside. So I'm getting an energy of there was something I feel that was fruity. It could have been like a candle scent. There was also something that was, and it was overpowering, I feel. Okay. Because this represents the strength card here. Strong. Strong smell, overpowering, y'all. I tell you, you don't always have to rush, okay? You don't always have to rush. Take your time, okay? Everyone may resonate with things in a different manner, but when I pick up on things, it doesn't always necessarily just snap, okay? But that is what I'm getting. I'm getting there was a strong, overpowering smell. I feel like there was something very fruity. I also am getting outdoors here with the sun. There's the energy of outdoors. We also have water here. Okay, guys. Now let's go ahead and look at the tarot messages here. I need to move my cards back sideways. Okay, so let's just clarify smell here. So look, we got it. Temperance, y'all. I'm not even kidding. We got temperance. I told you. This is it. Something relaxing. There was some sort of strong scent that, okay. Y'all, do you think that someone put something over her nose to knock her out? I feel like it was some sort of a noxious fume that may have been used to get her to, you know what I mean? Because to take to, for some sort of humanity aspect, even though this is very inhumane. But I feel like there's an energy of either incapacitation or just a sense of not being alert. And it may have been through some sort of a noxious fume because I'm getting both of these cards are not coming out for nothing. We got temperance twice. Okay. So whatever it was that affected her sense of smell was very strong and noxious. Look at all of this fruit all over. You can only think that there is a very, very strong smell, fruity smell. And then we have strong here with the strength card. I mean, come on. Strong smell. And then we have the sun. It's like this bright light energy. Something very, very strong, hot, even. It could have been a sense of something very, very strong, powerful. Okay. And then a sense of calm, complete calm. Two cards that represent calm, peace. Y'all, let me know what you think. Let's go ahead and look at taste, and then we're going to take it into part 2. Okay, we're going to take it into part 2 and look at sound or hearing, touch, feel, and then intuition, which is going to be a special one right there. So we're really going to focus on that one. But let's go ahead and look at taste. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at taste. And what deck are we going to use? The Witching Hour Oracle. Okay. That'll be the main deck. The Witching Hour Oracle. Was there anything specific, any taste that Nancy had? You know, sometimes when you have like an injury to your nose, that sort of thing can get down into your throat and into your mouth, you know, so there could be that going on. Okay, what does this say? Solitary witch, heal yourself first. Number 2. What does that mean? Let's see what it says. Keywords: heal yourself first. It begins with you. Believe in yourself. Temperance. Oh my God. The tarot companion for this card is Temperance, you guys. So again, this is an energy of peace, so maybe there's a sense of being quiet, okay, with solitary, being quiet. Let's read. The solitary witch is not worried about what others are doing. She prefers to practice alone in the secret space of her choosing rather than rely on a coven to support her. Oh, did she go to dinner that evening? Did she choose to opt out? Did she choose to not go to this dinner? Did she hold back from going to dinner at Annie's that night as opposed to what they said? Or did something different happen? Solitary. Love yourself first. Did she heal yourself first? Did she choose to stay back for some reason? She may meet with others occasionally, but ultimately she knows her path is her own walk in her own time. Many will call upon her for her gifts. Many will call upon her for her gifts, which she is happy to share, but first and foremost is her own healing. Wow. For she knows she is of little use to anyone else without first supporting herself. Y'all, this is powerful. I feel that she may have said, I don't want to come to dinner, or I don't want to eat there. I want to be by myself. I've got to take care of myself. You all are after my money. You don't care about me. You want something from me. Someone approached her for some sort of need, debt, money, and she told them no. And then with this dinner, she wasn't going to go. No, she said no. It says, little use to anyone else without first supporting herself. Pulling solitary witch is a sign that you have overlooked yourself. You may need to spend more time in solitude. Treat yourself to a rare experience. Wow. Treat yourself to a meal by yourself. She may have called an Uber driver to take her to eat alone, perhaps. You know, or there could have been a DoorDash driver even. It says, treat yourself to a rare experience or spend more time developing your gifts before sharing them with others. Y'all, before sharing them with others. Pulling this card can also signify that your healing work starts within. You may need to work on healing your ancestral lines, y'all, or you're being called to develop a better relationship with your spirit guides. If your question involves others, receiving this card guides you to focus on how you can be a better person in your relationship. It's unlikely you'll change the other person's mind, but you can change how you manage your response to their behavior. It may be time to walk away. The companion card or the elements. You are being called to rely more on yourself. You are the only tool you need at this time. Midnight Moth. You have the qualities that you are jealous of in others. Turn inward and focus on finding and developing those qualities within yourself. Invocations. There's that word jealousy again. Speak to yourself. Speak to yourself. Okay. There it is with talking, the mouth, using the mouth. Speak to yourself as you would a lover. Worship yourself as sacred and develop more self love. Interesting. Tell me more about Nancy's sense of taste. Whoa. Did y'all see that? Okay. That made sure that went in the reverse. The witch hunter or danger in the reverse. Interesting. The solitary witch and the witch hunter in the reverse. Danger in the reverse. See, there's an overarching theme here. Being alone. The witch hunter in the reverse. Okay. Not being able to find, being out of danger. Solitary witch. Healing yourself first. Okay. All of these energies of being alone. And then under the deck, we have the elements back to the basics. Bewitched, you're under a spell. And you see how this person is holding on and they're wearing green. It's like envious. And you see how this devil energy is coming through. And then you have this angel, this devil holding on. There is someone toxic that is holding on, wanting to hold on to Nancy because of something they want. And it has to do with money. And there are multiple people. Back to the basics and the elements here. There are people that are working together. We have the 12 here. This is 3. Okay. Creating, making something happen, and then bewitched, being under a spell. So someone is trying to, and there could be some spell work that is taking place here. But someone is wanting to hold on to someone for purposes of what they have or what they want. But somebody is going back to the basics. And they were trying to push people out and do things on their own. And somebody else wasn't having it, is what I'm getting. Let's look at the tarot messages to clarify this. So we're not getting a sense necessarily that just because We're talking about taste here. It's not necessarily all about the sense of tasting something, but it could represent an energy around it, or also her saying something out of her mouth, talking, speaking. All right. And look, Five of Swords and the Death card. See, this is all about fear. Also, mind games, but in a sense of someone saying something, right? And trying to create some sort of diversion, confusion. Okay. There's something going on that is shifty here. And I feel that with the Death card, again, this represents an ending. It also just represents an energy of someone who's playing mind games, someone who is frustrated, okay, someone who is undergoing some sort of conflict mentally. They're under a lot of stress, okay, there's something that is ending, or someone is changing, or someone is putting an end to a situation where people have been playing these mental mind games. They're putting an end to it. I feel that Nancy started speaking up for herself. And this is what got this could ultimately be the reason why others were led to do things that they did. This talks about betrayal. Now we have the Three of Swords that just came out. This talks about heartbreak, some sort of a separation. Under the deck, the Four of Cups, this also represents a separation. Okay. With the Three of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So there are multiple people that basically wanted to try to get her to be quiet, or there's an energy of wanted to keep her from talking. Okay. All of these senses are coming together. It's like one is leading to the other. The recognition led to the downward spiral. Do you see what I'm saying? The downward spiral led to the strong odor, I feel like, which led to a sense of peace, not saying a word. You know what I mean? And then we have someone who's making decisions now to completely silence an individual, right? So that they don't say anything. Y'all, just bothers me. We have the Eight of Cups here, y'all. I can't with the Four of Swords. Didn't I say it? Didn't I say it? All about silencing someone. This is someone who is trying to walk away or just kind of get out of a situation. They're trying to leave something behind that's very overwhelming. And also they want to keep this a secret and keep it quiet. We started off pretty much with those two. We talked about that. So you guys take this how it resonates. You let me know what you guys think about all of this energy. We've kind of gone over in time, but I said I was going to go in depth, and I'm going to do that in the next reading. Part 2 of this, we are going to come back. We are going to look at the other half of the senses. We're going to look at the sense of hearing, sound. What was it that Nancy heard? Did she recognize someone's voice? Recognize someone's walk? Okay. Was there a sound, something breaking, anything that startled her? And then we're going to look at feeling or touch. Okay. Any textures that may have stood out to Nancy that she felt? Any feelings, sharp, strong, pressurizing, or even constricting that she may have felt? And then we will look, lastly but not least, at her sense of intuition. What intuitive energies came into play? We'll be looking at that in part 2. I love you guys so much. You guys so much. Please hit those like buttons for me and show your love right back. And I will see you guys on the next conspiracy. So take care, and I'll see you there. Bye.